Yo, 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 what's up, YouTube? Dirty Dan Gaming with another video. Today we're going to continue. Whoa, it's early. Excuse me. Today we're going to continue our commander guide with the next commander that you would see on the wheel if you were starting a new account in a new kingdom. That commander is going to be none other than Isong Ye, YSG. For all the veteran players out there, you already know. For all the new players out there who don't know, this should be your first legendary commander that you max. His longevity, unlike Richard in our last video, where the value just doesn't hold up as well as you progress into the late game, YSG does not have that drop off whatsoever, and we'll talk about some of the things of why that is in this video, and let's just jump right into it. So YSG, he's going to be your first archer commander on the wheel. He is going to be a garrison and also skill talent tree commander. So the skills are obviously what are most important on these commander guides, and this is why his longevity sustains for a while. Oh my gosh, I got a sneeze coming. Nope, it went away. I'm still not editing yet, so this is all raw and uncut, as long as I don't do a second clip of this. So let's just jump into the skills before I start going on a rant. Rain of arrows damages up to 5 enemy troops in a circular shaped area. Damage factor 1700. Damage dealt to each target is reduced by 15% for each additional target. That's something standard that you see with almost every single AoE commander that is going to come out, with the exception of barbs, who does not take reduced damage for each additional target that he's hitting. 1700, great damage. Without this expertise, you're not getting the circle shaped area of effect damage. You're only going to get that cone shape that you see even like with Richard's active skill, which is a debuff. You're only going to get that cone shape right in front of you. So that circular AoE is huge. It's massive, and it's one of the key factors of why his longevity sustains, because we only have one other commander who has this circular AoE effect, and it's not as big as YSG's. Second, troops led by this commander have a 10% chance to gain extra 100 rage for each normal attack for the next 3 seconds. All archer units led by this commander gain 100 increased attack. I don't usually like the attack buffs, as you guys know, but 100% is a big deal. And I just noticed that there is no cooldown for this. So you can proc it 3 seconds, you get the 100% attack, and you can proc it right away. That's awesome. Troops led by this commander. Very key phrase, because it's a universal phrase. It means that you can use any kind of troop. You can use cavalry, you can use infantry, you can use siege, and you're still going to get a 10% chance to gain the extra 100 rage. Obviously, if you're using siege or infantry or cavalry, you're not going to be getting a boost for archer attack bonus. Very nice skill. As we jump into the talents, you'll see that this is pretty much one of his top talents in just his skill alone. Third skill is for a garrison. While this commander is leading the garrison of your own city, garrison troops and the watchtower gain 10% increased attack. 10% increased attack, not a fan, don't really care. Generation 1 commanders, you're seeing, we saw this change a few months back, where they used to be garrisoning structures and strongholds, but for these Generation 1 commanders, and for our next commander, Charles Martel, which we'll talk about, he kind of has the same thing, but it's leading the garrison of your own city only. So if you're in a flag, if you're in a pass, this isn't going to take effect. However, it's only 10% attack, so it's not anything that I'm really crying over that I'm missing. Fourth skill, probably his best one, Besides expertise, troops led by this commander gain 50% increased skill damage. So we have just seen with CJG that he has up to 40%, but you have to obtain those stacks and get that to line up when you're firing your active skill. For this, that active skill for YSG and the secondary is always going to have that effect of the additional 50% skill damage that you're going to be doing. And then lastly, again, his expertise is going to give him that circular AoE of effect, and it's also going to increase his damage factor from 1400 to 1700. So you're seeing very much like Saladin, where his direct damage factor at base without expertise is 1400, and then with his expertise it's going to jump to 1700. Very solid, great commander, super versatile. You can use him in almost any situation. You can use him in almost in every situation. I think you can use him in Canyon. He's great in Canyon. You can use him in open field. You can use him in rallies. Just a top-notch commander. Generation 1 who has not fallen off or skipped a beat whatsoever. Just jumping into his talents real quick. Here we have a little bit of a rage engine build. This I would say is okay for open field. I'm not really an archer main. I'm not an archer main at all. These are just some of my opinions and some builds that I have used in the past. If you guys have any different or any other suggestions, feel free to let me know. So this is a little bit of a rage engine build. This right here, Feral Nature, that's his one skill in his talent tree. So I mean, with this you're having 2 chances of 10% to grant an additional 100 rage. Some say this might be a little bit too much. However, I have some reports. Unfortunately they expire, but I'll show you some pretty cool garrisoning reports that I did with a YSG recently in our last KVK while I was taking some rallies on my city, where I have this Feral Nature maxed out on the primary commander. Next, you have a little bit of a pure damage build. This is going to give you obviously the rejuvenate, which is going to be restoring skill rage whenever you use a skill, and then clarity, which is going to be buffing the skill damage for your secondary commander. If you can get it to come back around, which is definitely possible, then you're going to get that extra 6% for the primary commander as well. Venomous Sting is a talent that every archer commander, you should have this on every archer commander, I think, in my opinion. Up here, this is kind of where the pure damage is coming in. When the army led by this commander contains only archer units, normal attacks have a 10% chance to increase all damage dealt by 15% for the next 2 seconds. So if you're proccing this while you're hitting your active skill, you're getting the 50% increase on the damage, and then you're getting the 15% increase all damage on top of that already 50% enhanced skill. Phoenix Tail arrows. An army led by this commander contains only archer units. Normal attacks have a 10% chance to trigger an additional attack. Damage factor 200 on the target. No cooldown on this either, so this is really nice for some bursty damage. More damage is always, better in my opinion. Probably I would say this is would be your go-to for rally build on YSG. City Garrison, I was playing with this a little bit, and again, if you're not an archer main and your city isn't loaded with archers, then I don't know if I would use YSG primary. I think there's better options, especially early game when you don't have many troops and you just kind of want to keep your city alive a little bit while you're getting rallied or something like that. And this is again City Garrison. If you didn't want for a city build, then you would remove this, because this is only granting you rage every time the city is hit. You definitely want these on your garrison builds for almost any garrison commander. So in summary, YSG just go ahead and max him. Don't even think about it. Most people know this already from previous content creators. I want to say it's everyone's pick for the number one commander that you should max on your account. The first commander that you should max on your account is going to be YSG. Now, just some quick notes about YSG. Because everyone knows how good he is, he gets targeted instantly. I took him to 60 for my KVK 1 because I wanted to have a, additional marches. Didn't turn out so well. I was just getting fat hospital bill after fat hospital bill. At the time, I didn't have my Richard maxed. So what I probably would have done, I don't think I even had my Martel maxed at that point, or level 60 for open field use. What you want to do with YSG is you want to hide him behind a tankier commander, a commander that people aren't going to be targeting right away. Your Richards are going to be great for that. Your Charles are going to be great for that, especially in KVK 1. Excuse me, KVK 1. You can even use Sun Tzu. Again, because Sun Tzu is a little bit high on that priority list in KVK 1. But he's still, an infantry commander, which they don't get the priority in KVK 1, KVK 2. That all that priority really kind of shifts to the cavalry players. So you can even put your YSG behind him, get an additional 20% damage boost, and you'll be gravy. You'll just be cranking out damage. So that's just a little note. Just be careful when you're using him. If you are using him primary, just be aware of the battle and how the battle is kind of going, and just try not to get swarmed down with him, because without any gear too, he's going to be super squishy. You shouldn't have commanders in the field if they don't have gear. At least have some green or blue on them, just to give them a little bit of extra padded stats. But yes, in summary, max YSG, he should be the first commander that everybody should max. No questions asked. He's going to pair well with so many commanders in the late game. And then for the archer mains too, who in the beginning stages of the game, you guys don't really have too many options. Trust me, it gets better once you get Ramses, once you get Nebu. Where are these guys? They're giving you things that are going to make that YSG a little bit pickier in terms of defense bonuses, in terms of skill damage reductions right here, in terms of additional defense bonuses. Although you have to proc this, you're still getting the extra defense because YSG has no defensive capabilities. So just real quick, again, for city garrisons, here. So obviously Attila Takeda rallies are a thing, and I wanted to just kind of play around with some combinations that I had available to me, trying to find the counter. So I tried using Attila Takeda. I hate the fact that you're losing out on some skills there because he requires all cavalry. But this is just a quick report on City Rally from our last KVK, which was Heroic Anthem. That was our KVK 4 in Kingdom 1780. Again, think outside the box, guys. Try things, experiment on your own. I think what a lot of content creators are doing are great, and they give you great foundations, and they give you great analytics and a basis to try and test some of these things. And I got this idea, actually. I think it was, Legend Ronnie's a big advocate on using high skill damage commanders when you have a lot of troops in your city. And I think everything on this report's expired. I'm very heavy on cav, so it does kind of help me to have the XY primary. But with the YSG, with the YSG, when he was hitting, so you were getting the defense reduction that XY was giving out, and then you're also getting now that defense reduction onto the rally with the 50% damage boost that YSG was hitting. We were hitting for 6k, 6-figure skill damage every time YSG was firing off his skill. XY was a little bit less because he's not getting the boosts, because he's not usually the boost help the secondary commanders a little bit more in terms of skill damage. But you can see here we did fairly well. Granted, this is not a rally that was reinforced whatsoever. It was just kind of stuff that we were playing around with because we had a dead KVK and a few of us just wanted to take rallies. But I mean, you can see here that it works. It worked pretty well. These were dead from someone reinforcing my city. More dead from people reinforcing my city. People don't like to read markers, but it is what it is. So you can see that we got some pretty good trades here. So it just goes to show some of that versatility that YSG is going to offer, especially late game. Again, this was Heroic Anthem, KVK 4. He's been maxed for over probably about a year now of our gameplay, of 497 days on this account, and he's still doing so well. He does so many things super well. You can pair him with almost anyone. Again, think outside the box. Try and do those different combinations. Just be careful when you're out there on the field. Don't get swarmed down. Mind those hospital bills, and you'll be all gravy. All right, with that, we're at about 15-16 minutes now. It's time to go watch my Saturday morning cartoons, My Hero Academia. Let's get it. Again, love all y'all for the support. Hopefully we're jumping into a KVK soon because I really want to start streaming. It's really irking me that there's so many amazing fights going on in some of these KVKs. So I hope that we can jump into the action soon with some of you guys. Again, thank you for the support. Love y'all. With that, I'm out. Peace.